Oh, it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you get trapped in a headlock and you're worried about smearing your lip gloss. You shoot her off and take a shoulder block. Do the leapfrog, give her the hip toss. On the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. One more. You got the guy in an abdominal stretch and you grab the rope for extra leverage. Then you get a concussion from the angry rush and you get paid with a diet soft beverage. On the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Now double claps. Clap, 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 clap. The hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da. Whoa! Yay! What is going on, Bob Squad? What it is? Oh, pardon me. Shooting a shit, shooting a fat, whistling Dixie, waxing philosophical, rubbing elbows, greasing palms, movers, shakers, trendsetters, go-getters, gypsies, tramps, and thieves. How the hell are ya? It's the Go Home and Stay There show for WrestleMania. It's the last Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania. The two-night extravaganza. The most stupendously long show of the year. It's not enough for years before it. For a decade before the weekends started. I think this is the third year in a row. It'll be Friday and Saturday. It was Saturday and Sunday in 2020 and 2021. But Friday is like SmackDown and a Hall of Fame. Oh God. Ugh. Blah. Even giving Scott Steiner a live microphone will not be worth it. I don't even know if the Hall of Fame is replacing SmackDown or SmackDown still happens or the fall Hall of Fame happens on Peacock somewhere. I do not know how to watch it. Is it on another television station? I don't know. I'm not worried about it. You guys are going to see it 40 times. And if Scott Steiner says anything crazy that they're going to take out immediately after, the internet's going to share it. It won't be that big of a deal. And the same way, like when good old Jim Cornette came to induct the Rock and Roll Express in 2017, like when they're inducting friends and or family, they're going to behave themselves anyway, so it's not going to be as fun. So don't worry about it. So with Braun Breaker there, I wouldn't worry about the Steiners going crazy on a microphone too much, just because. And they added time limits last year, so. Okay, anyway, and The Undertaker, of course, that'll be a great moment. The Undertaker will give a speech, and then they'll have him as a normal, happy-go-lucky Undertaker. They'll show Michelle McCool 19 times and pretend they had equal careers. Blah, 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 blah. And then they'll show The Undertaker's kids, whose faces are blurred out on Instagram, but then all over WWE TV. Okay. Are you done, Bob? Are you done shitting on everything, you miserable prick? Why are you such a miserable prick today, Bob? Well, two reasons. A, I've been back using a cane to walk for the last 5 days. It's gotta be cane, not that cane. My arthritis in my foot flared up to the point where I couldn't walk for a few days. I'm walking now. I'm moving around the apartment without the cane, and I can shuffle around a bit outside, but I kind of need it anyway. You know, if I'm going to get to the car and beyond, I kind of still need it. So I can get from like the bed to the bathroom without my cane, and the kitchen and living room-ish room that I have here. I can move around my little apartment without the cane, which is good because I always leave it on the other side of where I want to be anyway. So that's nice. The inflammation is going down, so I am feeling better today than I am for the last 3-4 days, but I don't like not being able to walk, because that also means I can't work out. If I can't work out, I get crabby. That's number one reason. What's the number two reason? Well, I had to watch this Monday Night Raw. I had to watch the Hulu edition, not limited enough commercial interruptions of WWE Monday Night Raw on March 28th, 2022. It is the last Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania, like I said, and how do we start it? Say it at home. Chris, where are you? I know you're gonna. I'm looking through my notes. Let me just check my notes to see what happened. Where are my notes? Did I take notes? It opens with Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant. Glad I wrote that down. And then Brock Lesnar is there, and he has a long package. It's like the human tripod. Now they have Lesnar enter to Pittsburgh. They're in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we have to watch a long video package, all the forklift stuff he's been doing on Monday Night Raw. On SmackDown, rather. All the stuff he's been doing on SmackDown. Which means Lesnar was standing there like an idiot for 5 minutes. Of all people, we shouldn't be making look like an idiot. And Lesnar briefly mentions, and Roman Reigns, yes, Roman Reigns is on this. Lesnar briefly mentions the thing no announcer or wrestler or manager has talked about for the last 2.5 months. Oh yeah, when Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar wrestle, the title will be unified. That's right. You know how this company has 2 champions? Well, there's going to be 1 now. Kind of a huge thing. It should be the #1 story. It was an afterthought on the go-home show for the biggest pay-per-view of the year. And he says that his title is going to marry Roman Reigns' title, and that title is going to have a baby and be the unified title. I'm not kidding you. He said that. He also said, I always wanted to say this. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. He did not always want to say it. He didn't want to say it then. And you could tell. He even said it sucked right after, which was confusing. But then Lesnar he puts his cowboy hat back on and he leaves. Why was he there? I don't know. I have to imagine Lesnar. I think Lesnar loses and just goes away for 4 months or whatever. Unless there's a Saudi thing and it's like 2 or 3 months. I don't know. Anyway. The Miz is there. And he's saying words, and I started fast forwarding. Sorry, guys. Logan Paul shows up with Rey Mysterio's mask, and the Mysterios then beat them up. And Dominic gets kicked out as we start a match between Rey Mysterio and The Miz. I think there's 2 matches on the Hulu edition of this thing. There might, yeah. We'll get to that. Well, 3 if we count. Never mind, I'm jumping ahead. So Rey Mysterio and The Miz have a fine match. Nothing's wrong with it. No, it was very good. I shouldn't say that. It was a good match. And Rey is terrific. Rey pins The Miz. To my surprise, he hits like a sunset flip thingy out of nowhere. I think Miz was trying to powerbomb him or something, which is a clue because Miz doesn't do powerbombs. So, powerbombing a luchador is the most difficult thing in the world. You almost can't do it. Because if they're not going to give you the Rana and roll you up that way, they'll scoot over you and roll down for a sunset flip, or they'll twist around your face and do the victory roll, or they'll scoot around when they're up there and pick their leg over your head and do a DDT. It's just, you can't powerbomb the guys. Don't even bother. Billy Kidman, not a luchador, very Pennsylvanian. You cannot powerbomb that son of a bitch. Go back and watch. Don't go back and watch. It's a waste of time. There's too much time as it is being wasted on this. There's a huge bloobity blah at the end of this. The Miz and Dominic returns, and there's a motorcycle outside on a freeway. Dominic and Rey Mysterio try to do the double 619 on Logan Paul. It doesn't work. I think Miz pulls Logan away, and then they do the double 619 to the Miz. So I guess we're supposed to be teased to want to see a double 619 on Logan Paul at WrestleMania. They could have done it then. I wouldn't have given a fuck. I'm telling you, this is. I think I care about this match the least. And Baron Corbin's on the show. Okay. Yeah. Rey is so likable. And Dominic is too, but it's Rey. So you kind of just forgive it and let it go. But hopefully they hit a double 619 on a stupid celebrity guy. 1, 2, 3 and be done with it. I hope. Okay. Vince McMahon, we're at Stamford at 7 o'clock in the morning, apparently. Vince McMahon is in his office, and his office has a colossal T-Rex skeleton. Let me try that again. His office has a colossal Tyrannosaurus Rex skull on the wall. I'm not kidding, it really does. Seth Rollins bursts in, and he's wearing a wacky suit. And Vince tells him all you had to do was ask, confirming how this was a waste of time. And it makes Seth look stupid because, like I've said for weeks, Omos, and we're getting there next, gets to say he has a WrestleMania match, and he does. The Street Profits did it. I think Natalya and Shayna did it. I think Sasha and Naomi did it. So why the hell couldn't Seth just do that? Especially you got Finn with no opponent, and also, isn't there specifically, and if he just wants to have a match on a show, obviously he's not going to want a match with him and Finn is great, but Finn is not being presented at that star level, so no, that wouldn't be good. It would be good for the Smart Mark fan, but it wouldn't be good for really the whole show. Isn't there an Andre the Giant Battle Royal every year? There is this year. We saw the silly graphic of everyone who isn't on the show yet. So if, in theory, not against Austin Theory, but just in theory, if Seth just wanted a spot on the show, couldn't he just say, "Can I be in that Battle Royal?" Since it's not like a 20-man. It's just like it's a 27. It's a 33. We just don't care. We don't know. Whoever works here and needs to be on the show for some reason. You know what I'm saying? So, Seth would be a funny Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner. I think he'd roll with that. Okay, whatever. Vince tells Seth you have a mystery opponent, and Seth jumps up on Vince's desk and squats over it like he's taking a dump, which is great, which is what I should have done during this next segment, but I didn't have to go. Omos Omos has a differently disabled adults match. We haven't had one of those in a while. I don't say handicap match. Stay woke. Omos in a differently abled adults match versus the Viking guys. Omos wins by countout in like 20 seconds, which is hilarious because it takes 10 seconds to count someone out. They sold it like it was real. I don't know what happened. It was an ugly clothesline to Eric the Viking's head, and I don't know if they were just selling it like he really got hurt or he got dinged. I mean, it was not pretty by any stretch of the imagination, and it happened like 2 moves into the match. So, and not that match should go longer than a minute anyway, because it's going to expose some ugliness. And Omos wins by count out, and then he hits something on. He kicks the bigger Viking, Ivar, and then Omos says hello to an Irish guy who walks into the ring. An Irish guy walks into a ring. And Omos says something about WrestleMania and being tall or something. And Bobby Lashley returns. And he stares down Omos, and there's some shoulder blocks, and Omos kind of pie faces, muscles there. And then Bobby ducks a line and hits a tackle, and they both go down. And this was very deliberate because the Irish guy said that, hey, not only have you not been beaten, no one's taken you off your feet. And Lashley takes him off his feet. Now, would it have been... You could argue it would have been a bigger reaction if Lashley didn't take Omos off his feet until WrestleMania. I'm gonna side with the decision they made, because I really don't. I'm sure Omos is younger, but I just don't see a big payoff for Omos being there. I think they're using, if you have a freakishly tall guy, use him because he's freakishly tall, but I think there's just something, I think it's just not going to happen. He doesn't seem to be improving at all. He's been on TV for like a year, maybe more, because he had that, his first match was last year's WrestleMania, huh? About a year, yeah, against the New Day, April 9th or 10th, one of those or something like that. So it was a year. So he's been on TV, and like he hasn't gotten any better. So I kind of feel like start cashing in, and post WrestleMania, if Roman does keep it, and why do I think he will? Roman needs opponents, and I think Roman and Lashley might be interesting. I mean, Roman's going to beat everybody for next year or so because they keep thinking Rock's coming back. Maybe he is, I don't know. And if he does, so what? Roman loses to Rock? No. Because Rock's going to leave the next day. So is Roman just clinging on to the thing so he can beat Rock for a day? And then who the hell beats... I mean, it's got to end somewhere. But Also, if you're the only thing that's interesting on SmackDown, maybe it doesn't. Okay, enough side rant. I think Lashley in 2 minutes, as little physicality as possible. Lashley, just put him over Omos. Knock him down as he gets up. Don't even let him stand back up. Let him sit up. Hurt lock. Goodbye. He doesn't just beat him, he taps him. Fuck it. What are you going to do? Omos should be standing at ringside while a snarky heel hides behind him or something. Okay. Wasted too much time on that. Roman Reigns is here. Roman Reigns is on Raw for the first time in a very long time. He's wearing a red tracksuit, and his collar is crooked on one side. Just want to let you know that. The Usos are also wearing red tracksuits. Don't know why. And Roman Reigns cuts a terrific heel promo about why he's the greatest. There is just one issue. A glaring issue. Brock Lesnar has been trying to kill Roman Reigns the past several times during a building together on SmackDown. So Brock Lesnar is in the same building at the same time as Roman Reigns, and there's no interaction between them whatsoever. They couldn't even show Lesnar, leaving or something? Or maybe somebody lies to Lesnar and said, you might as well leave because we just found out Roman's not coming. So Lesnar's like, the hell with it then, I'll just go. And then, of course, something. I don't know. It could be very, very brief, but doesn't Lesnar look like a bigger idiot now? You already made him look like... why didn't he go after Roman? I don't know. Roman was terrific here, though. He handled that stupid what chant. Guys, it was played out in 2 weeks, and 21 years later, if you do the what chant at a wrestling show, you have no brain. You're even too dumb to be a wrestling fan. Okay? You're too dumb to be a WWE fan if you do the what chant over and over and think it's hilarious. Steve Austin doesn't even want you to do it. Okay? It's really stupid. And it was stupid in 2 weeks. It was amusing because it was a thing you did. But all you're doing is reminding people of when you used to watch bigger stars. You're not clever, and at this stage of the game, if you're doing it, you gotta be near 40. You gotta be in your 30s at least to be doing the what chant, which means you're that old and you're that stupid, and you should be punched a lot of times. You're not a good person if you do that. You're a bad parent if you're a parent. I hope you didn't procreate by ejaculating in a lady's vagina, and then the sperm and the semen fertilizes the egg, and then she reproduces out of her vaginal canal or through a cesarean section. Didn't really need all that other stuff, but, I'm just keeping it technical. Okay. And Roman Reigns says that's a Steve Austin thing, and I beat his ass too, blah, 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 blah. Speaking of Austin, here's a video, and they used the old Kid Rock video. That was hilarious to hear. It was fun to see the old clips, but that's the problem. The nostalgia is a good thing when the current product is also good, and nostalgia is bad when the current product is dog shit. It just makes people sad. It's kind of like you're watching Force Awakens and you're meeting Rey and Finn and Poe, and then Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford show up, and you go, oh, cool. Oh, wait. You're going away soon one way or another. We're stuck with these people. Yeah, okay. They play the Kid Rock video. Corey Graves reminds us he thanks Kid Rock for his song Ball with the Ball, and which is 1999? Good God. Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. Kevin Owens comes out, does a great job. I think this was an even better promo than last week, but last week, of course, he had the volume of that surprise with the music and all that stuff, so that's going to be the more memorable one, but this was just really solid work. And you could tell, obviously, he's got bullet points and there's catchphrases of Austin's he needs to hit and yada, yada, yada. But because he occasionally will stumble or fumble a word here or there, you can tell he's telling you how he feels in his own words. And it sounds good. And he told us everything about, he said, Steve Austin still looks great, but he's not Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's just Steve now. And he's going to stunner Steve and pour his own beer all over him and yada, yada, yada. Tremendous stuff, and he got the people pissed off. We saw 2 matches. One of them was Rey and Miz, and the other one, Omos won in 20 seconds, so you can do whatever. Bianca Belair. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I need water. Oh, there are 4 announcers now. Michael Cole just showed up. For what reason, I'm still not sure. Maybe it was cut from the Hulu edition. But Michael Cole was there, so we have 4 announcers on screen, and they announced the retirement of Triple H. And Bianca Belair comes out and cuts a great promo. She doesn't overly do the skipping and dancing because she has stuff to be mad about, and she's injured. She says her throat hurts. She shouldn't be talking, but she's got something to say. And I was cool with that. And she says, Becky, you went after me. You went after my hair. And I hurt you hurt me, but now I'm taking everything from you, and you hate me because of my confidence, and blah, blah, blah. And Becky jumps her from behind. And they do this thing, which maybe this segment would have been better 1 or 2 weeks ago. But at the same time, on its own, I thought it was very good. Becky attempts to cut Bianca's crazily long braided hair. Bianca powers out of it. Bianca hits her own finish twice, and I was really glad it wasn't near the scissors. It was a big pair of scissors in the ring. I was a little nervous. I don't like that. But no one got hurt, thankfully. Bianca hits her finish twice on Becky. And Bianca proceeds to cut Becky's hair. And this is what's funny. Becky has long red hair. And I know a lot of the women have extensions because their hair will grow like a foot in a month. And you're like, I don't know. And on an occasion or two, we have seen various extensions fall out of some women's heads during the matches over the years. It's happened a time or two. I think Natalya had one, and Naomi might have had one as well in the past. But it's happened. So part of me was like, okay, but there's a lot of red hair in the ring. And here's the thing. At least 4 different times, Bianca wrestled Becky down and grabbed a chunk of her hair as Becky's struggling against her or wiggling around, looking as though she's struggling. But there's also sharp objects near her face as she's doing that. And Bianca cuts like 4 different large chunks out of Becky's hair and leaves her. And Becky is screaming and making mean faces and picking up her hair and yada yada yada. And then we cut to Becky in the back with a blonde lady, because of course a blonde lady is going to be there. And Becky's hair looks great. Bianca didn't give her a haircut, she gave her like an amazing layering. It was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. Like, she did a great job amidst all that chaos and just running around. Like, I don't know if Bianca has experience as a professional barber, but she made Becky look even hotter. Like, how did you do that? I was impressed. And then Becky put a picture earlier today of social media where her hair still looks good, but I think they just should have left it the way Bianca left it. Bianca left it hotter. There's another segment that is not a match. Edge is in the dark, showing off his acting classes. Why is Edge in a dark room with a scale, but not like a scale you weigh yourself on, like a justice scale? Like a judge would have, and he puts this weird little golden skull thing on the scale, and he's telling AJ Styles about how dark he is, and he's just Edge. You know who? If you want to show off your acting chops so bad, you know who you can act like? Act like Edge. We know you're not a dark and spooky guy. We know you're not Lex Luthor. You're not an evil genius. Do you know how we know? Because we've been watching you for 23, 24 years, whatever it is. and you've done like 90 documentaries showing your wife and your kids, and someone's always crying and having surgery and getting hurt, and having an emotional comeback story, the Royal Rumble 2 years ago, and that's how we know you're not Lex Luthor. Because you told us you're not 400 times. I am very much looking forward to AJ Styles versus Edge. I do think it'll be a show stealer. I hope a lot of time is allotted to them. Edge's new music that I think we only heard once or twice, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he gets a different laser light song and dance dog and pony show or whatever the hell at WrestleMania. Very possible. But anyway, Spooky Edge. Creatures of the Night Edge, I like to call him. For your 1995 Undertaker fans. And we go to Rick Boogs from SmackDown is here. And he plays Shinsuke Nakamura to the ramp. That's right, Shinsuke Nakamura is there as well. I guess they're challenging the Usos for the SmackDown Championship at WrestleMania. LOL, Usos are winning that. So the main, but those two guys, Boogs and Nakamura, are on commentary, sort of. And Corey Graves is in the back. He's shoved to the back and he's complaining a little extra. I don't know if he's hamming it up or they're setting him up to screw Pat McAfee because he made a comment or two about McAfee. There was no Austin Theory McAfee stuff on this show, or at least on this Hulu edition, as far as I know. So I don't really know, but I don't know why. Like, I ignored it like once or twice, but when it got too heavy-handed and not subtle enough, like WWE loves, because Vince hates subtlety. He liked it in '88 for Savage and Hogan, but whatever. Vince hates subtlety, so when he said it like a third time, he had like a third comment about, we were just going on about how indignant it is, and you want to do this to Pat McAfee? I was like, I bet you he screws Pat, because Corey's been cleared to be active, but why do I see them wanting him to stay with announcing, though? Like, they probably wouldn't want him to wrestle. He's just going to be another Baron Corbin as a wrestler. But who knows? I don't know the answer to that. There's a tag team match. It wasn't long. It was nothing to write home about. And again, why would I write home about it? My mother does not care. The Usos wrestle RK Bro, and nothing really happens. And this is only the third match, so I'm counting the Omos barely match that's been on this 90-minute program on Hulu. There's been 3 wrestling matches, and one of them was 10 seconds long. On opposite ends of the show, almost. And the Street Profits run in, beat up RK Bro, a DQ. Alpha Academy, who was also in that match with the Profits and RK Bro, do not show up. They don't care enough, apparently. They couldn't be bothered. So, the hell with them. And then that means Shinsuke Nakamura and Boogs get in there. Because, the Usos and Profits were beating up RK Bro, so to even it out. Well, I guess, yeah, because if Alpha came out, it would be 6 versus 4. Without the Alpha, it's 4 versus 4, and the good guys beat out the bad guys, I think. And I think they got off air early, because Orton started just asking them if they want extra RKOs for the Street Profits. And they just did it, and they got it. And then they did the thing where they just, instead of going right off the air, they just show graphics of all the WrestleMania matches. So I think things went early, because I thought for Usos and RK Bro, you'd think, oh, okay, this is going to take their time. But something happened. I don't know, maybe the Street Profits went on early, jumped the gun, or somebody sent them out early, whatever the hell. Or something was just weird timing. I don't know the answer. I know the tracksuits were red, and the collar was crooked. And positive notes. Let's do other business. I've been doing more stand-up comedy, which is nice, which is why these things are coming out a little later. But I don't have anything for WrestleMania weekend. I'm going to wish I did. This is going to be painful. Hopefully I get like a lot of house cleaning done during WrestleMania. I just called it WrestleManias because that's what it is. Oh, good God. Definitely by the time Europe wakes up on Saturday morning, the new sun bulb will be ready to go. So whether you wake up at 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, I don't know about 7 and 7:30ish maybe. Wake up. Don't wake up too early. Wake up casually, and in Europe, eat some breakfast, drink your coffee or whatever you like, and enjoy a new. It's only 22 minutes. And I always say it'll only be 20, and it's always 36 minutes. And I don't know. This is only 22 from bell to bell. So I did a pretty good job of staying where I said I would, better than I really, really love this one. I think it's action-packed. It's called the World's Least Dangerous Man. It's a cool G.I. Joe episode. Featuring a conversation or two between Cobra Commander and Grunt, of all people. So I really had some fun with my version of the USS Flag and the Whale as well. So, and there's an end credit scene. I do remind you, I literally type it out and remind you there's an end credit scene that I want you to watch. So please do that. So I'm looking forward to that. And maybe next weekend, after WrestleMania weekend, whatever, the 9th and 10th or whatever the hell it is, maybe then we can do another fun boxing. Or I could finish that Gojitron one. That would be nice. But I can't walk around. So that's on hold until I can walk right. And when I can walk right again, I'll finish the Gojitron helicopter thingy, because that ended up being really cool and just different looking than my other fun boxings. So that is that. Anything else going on? No. Nope. No. Absolutely nothing. Say it again. I just hope people hit their finishes in the center of the squared circle and not the ring apron, because it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you're distracting the referee, and the babyface has your wrestler pinned. Then you get punched to the ring apron, 'cause you realize all the trouble you're in on the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da.